a student in college and talked with him. I haven't really talked to him since I saw him in Denver last January, and he told me that Lucy was pregnant, so I got to meet him. So nice.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spirited Chats with Meredith Berry and Denise Mueller. We are so excited to have you. Just wanted to let everybody know this is for promo. Thank you so much for coming out. We're going to learn a lot. Hold on. We're having technical difficulties. All right, I think we have figured out the technical difficulties. Welcome to Spirited Chats with Meredith Berry and Denise Mueller. We are so excited to have both of you, and thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Alex Levine-Clardy, and I'm the Development Director for Promo. And don't worry, you're not going to have to listen to me much. Just wanted to give you a little introduction about Promo, and then I'll hand it off to those two. Promo is Missouri's LGBTQ advocacy organization. And right now, during COVID response, part of our series that we're doing is Promo at Home. And so this is a very exciting one that Meredith and Denise agreed to do for us. So without further ado, please teach us how to make cocktails.
Hi. She's got us. Okay, good. So we're ready. We up and going, kids? Maybe? I think usually it switches to us. Yes, we're good. We're good. Hello. So we're live, making this happen, making some cocktails for you guys at home. Thank you so much for joining us right now. I'm really excited to make these drinks for you. We set up a crazy spread. I acted like a nut ball, you know, getting in here. But we've got tons of like fresh fruit and everything that we just like had in the fridge. And I think the point is that we're just going to show you a couple of drinks that you can make at home really easily. So without further ado, here's our sponsor. Thanks, Cheetos. Vodka for dog people. It's also gluten-free. Okay.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Mare?
Me? I mean, I just make drinks for a living. I miss making drinks for a living. That's really just what I do. I make drinks geared towards the person that's sitting in front of me. And I really miss just kind of that moment where you're creating something and then you hand it to them and they're just elation of like, that's exactly what I was looking for. And that kind of personal interaction. That's really what I do. And I work at Taste Bar. I'm the beverage director over there, and I miss it desperately. That's it. So really hoping to get back to work, but also really happy that we're doing the right thing by staying at home and staying safe. Okay.
She's so humble. One thing that wows me consistently about Meredith is her opportunity to take something that we do have at home and to show you how to take it to the next level. So today we have some very simple recipes that we're taking to the next level due to her understanding of how to do no waste, sustainable style ingredients. If she's the cocktail side, I'm going to be your wine side today. My name is Denise Mueller. I'm a local sommelier. I also own the Mid-American School of Wine.
Deep!
And a wine course called Pre-Som Wine Course. I do have an amazing day job as well. And then this is my fun, this is my hobby. I had the pleasure to meet Meredith a couple years ago, opening a beautiful boutique hotel in town. And today we're just gonna take our energy for literally seeing beautiful people out in the public and servicing everybody. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna push our energy toward this amazing organization and hope that you guys take time to go to promoonline.org and see what they're all about.
Please, please. I'm gonna just get close for a second. You can see all this quarantine hair. It's so much. And there we go. I can kind of, there we go. A little more of seeing us. Just wearing my denim for you.
And my floor length maxi dress I've worn on the daily.
This is like the most, just wearing a denim button up shirt is like the most I've dressed up this entire time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much living in yoga pants and a Maker's Mark like bathrobe.
Right.
And slippers, and probably look like a crazy person. Usually my hair is not so tame. It's been like woo craziness.
And going between the $10 handle and the $100 special barrel scotch. Just depends what kind of day we're having.
Right? That big old baby bottle. You know what though? Here's the thing. People don't know the difference between a cheap bottle and a good bottle when you've been antiquing. You don't know what's in there. I know. Still good.
And they're going to ask before they drink it because of what it's in. So
right. Today we're showcasing Cheetos, and I'm super excited to do that. So honestly, like, what is the most Cheetos beverage that is sold? I mean, like, Cheetos like is crazy amazing marketing. I mean, and that's just the truth. Incredible marketing. And gluten-free, and they definitely always tag that on there. And everybody drinks a Cheeto soda. Like, everybody goes, Cheeto soda lime, Cheeto soda lime, Cheeto soda lemon and lime. Yes, you're worth it. You can have both citruses. So today I decided to kind of, what can we do to make a drink low-cal, but also interesting that you could just do in your house. Very easy. So I just took regular Cheetos vodka, you can get it anywhere. Randall's, that's a Louis place. Benny's, Chicago. I don't know if any other, I don't know. Dearborn. I've only lived in St. Louis for 2 years. It's very exciting for me to be like, I know these places. All right. So we're taking and we're going to be making this cocktail for you in a Collins. So we're gonna need some soda water, and we made it in a soda stream. I like the soda stream. You can control the water that you put in there and control the level of bubbles, and I like a lot of bubbles. But if you're doing this at home, it's super easy to just grab some regular soda water at the store. Just really basic. You can do the cheapest stuff if you want. And you don't have to buy LaCroix because we kind of did it for you. The first one that I did is got, I don't know if you can see, but I just put a deli, a little bit of Tito's vodka, and 3 slices of cucumber, a bit of cilantro that I had in the fridge. I did it this morning. I woke up at 7 a.m. and went, I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do. And then I put also a lime, like a half a lime wheel, or wedge, like literally, but I had already juiced limes last night for margaritas for Cinco de Mayo, and I thought I can save these and then I'll macerate. Just a really quick infusion, super fast, done and done. Now I strained it out. Look how clear that is. Super clear.
And flavorful.
Extraordinarily flavorful and fragrant. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna do 2 ounces. Right?
Because it's happy hour.
Because happy hour, babe. You can do 1.5. But this is quarantine times. Honestly, if it was quarantine times, I'd just pour this thing all the way to the top and do 1 splash. That's really what I'm going to do in my house. Maybe I already did it before this show. So we're going to do 2 ounces, right? And I got some nice ice, and I just put some water in one of those like cool molds, and I created, you know,
That's daring.
just little
Tongs.
little circles, little circles. So I'm gonna place that in there just gently. I like the tongs because they're easy to use and gentle and safe. Fingers, right?
That's gonna be what I do the rest of the night.
So I'm putting 2 little guys in there. Grab my soda stream water. Oh, no, it's bubbly. Now the secret to the soda stream, we do have a soda stream at home, is to chill the water beforehand. Make sure it's as cold as possible, and then I like give it like so many pumps. I'm like because I just want so many bubbles. I'm like obsessed. And then you're gently gonna just pour it in there, right? Oh, look at that pretty little baby. Pretty baby, look how bubbly.
We only had one before, I promise.
Yeah, sure. Put the cap back on this guy because I want to keep all those nice bubbles in there for another delicious drink. And there you have it. Cucumber, cilantro, and then lime. So you're going to get a little bit of the flavor and the tang from the juice, and then also a little bit of bitterness from the zest. And if you're infusing it in the day, I would taste it periodically to see what level you want it at. Because if you like it a little more bitter and more intense flavors, you can go pulverize them. I'd probably do it for only about 20 minutes and then strain everything out. And then, of course, garnishing, and we have our lovely tongs. Have some nice, freshly cut Persian cucumbers. Persian, darling. We're gonna stick those in there. Oh yeah, why not? A little fresh lime.
How impressive is this for
Fresh lime.
your next happy hour, your next social distance happy
Look at a little cilantro in there. Look how fast that was. And if you don't have cilantro and you have mint, do it. I just had it in the fridge because we had tacos last night from Cinco de Mayo. And if you have a dehydrator at home, I'm real crazy. I dehydrated a bunch of limes. Those are also great. These limes were about to die, and so I decided to just slice them. They didn't look really pretty on the outside either, so I sliced them up and put it in the dehydrator, 158 degrees at 10 hours, or you can do it in the lowest setting. I think it's about 170 maybe you can do in your oven, and just, you know, nice and thin, put them in there, leave them. I know it's a little scary to leave it the oven on for that long, but you're home. So you have time to go check it out.
And it looks like, is there a little bitters on there or a little component, or is it just straight
No. The beautiful thing is that the lime zest itself, you don't need any extra bitters. Lime zest itself gives just enough bitterness for depth. And then it's gonna literally taste like a really awesome little cow vodka soda LaCroix.
Oh, I am the taster.
Of course you're the taster. And then I have
That's incredible.
right?
That's incredible.
Isn't it good? And then you've got, like, I always have compostable straws. These just happen to be gold because I like gold.
Metallics for everyone.
I'm just like, I'll put glitter on everything.
Delicious.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like it?
It's just gonna go right down here.
It's super. She loves a vodka soda. Like when we work together, she'd be like, hey. You look at that vodka soda girl? I'm like, yeah, I got you.
Fancy water. In the shift.
And the shit. Right now I have a little bit of whiskey I'm sipping on. Delish. I hope you're having a cocktail at home. Hope you're enjoying yourself and having a cocktail at home. Next, super easy. Like I said, just things that I had laying around the house. This right here, if you can see it, it's just a bunch of rinds from a blood orange that I ate. So we bought a bunch of blood oranges, and then you peel it off because you're eating just the juice. I like to peel all the stuff off, and sometimes I get really fancy. I did a citrus salad. Right? I was visiting my favorite restaurant in Chicago. It's called Antiprima, and Marty, who owns it, and my friend Jasmine, and so many people there. I kind of like grew up there a long time ago and worked for them, and it's family for me. It's in Andersonville, and if anybody knows, like, Andersonville, it's like where all the gays go to retire after Boys Town. Like, you go to the quiet streets of Andersonville because you don't want to club anymore. But it's an amazing, like, Italian food place, but very like Venetian style. The citrus salad has like, oh my God, green olives and blood oranges and just amazing. Any kind of grapefruit, any kind of like stunning citrus that is of the time, and then olive oil, salt, maybe a little bit of chilies on there, and you can kind of play with it. But it's incredible. And so I was dreaming of it, and so I made it. And then leftovers is just kind of the rind and a little bit of the juice, and that's where you get, when I cleared it, that beautiful, look at that color. And that's all I did. I woke up this morning and I put the Tito's vodka in the leftovers and let it just sit. And it turned into that stunning, beautiful blush.
So and bashful.
Blush and Bashful. I love that movie.
Those are our new nicknames.
Blush and Bashful.
Take a whack at Weasel.
God, if you don't know that movie, you've lost your gay card. Or you can, you know what? I'd love to be able to stream it live for you. I was gonna say, come over, I'll show it to you. I own it, but we can't do that right now. All right, so 2 ounces of that. Oh yeah, little baby, get in here. 2 ounces. All right. Yeah. And then we're gonna grab a little bit of, you know what the thing is, not everybody has an ice, like,
Ice molds. Yeah.
Straight up from the freezer. I'm not even kidding. We took it out and we put it in there. And that's where it's from. All right, so gently putting that baby in there. Nice ice. You know what's funny? I'm saying nice ice constantly, but if you want to get ice, you can go to Nice Ice, STL here in St. Louis, and get super awesome, like, clear cubes from Drew LeBray, not this stupid ass cloud I got. Like, you can literally just, like, I mean, it's good, but, like, if you want it and you can pay for it, like, why not, like, give it to Drew and be like, hey, can I get some of that ice? You're like, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's not how, it's who. We've got the connection.
It's not how, it's who.
Somebody watching knows that was
Boom, 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 boom,
oh,
boom.
good.
Just a little bit of that soda water. Look how pretty that looks. And what are we gonna do? I'm gonna put some slices. My partner, Brittany, was so kind. I was too excited about doing all these margaritas last night, and I slipped blood orange, and I, like, left it out, and she's like the best of being like, oh, I'm gonna clean up that because you're a monster. I'm like, yeah, you know? And so saved the blood orange and brought it back in, so I sliced it today, and that's called being sustainable. Have a partner that takes care of you, right? And your idiocy. Look at that, and just some blood oranges on there. How pretty is that? Blood orange is so gorgeous. And it's gonna have this nice bitterness, a little bit of citrus, but like I said, it's gonna taste like just like having a vodka LaCroix. You did it yourself. You did it with things that were already in your house that you're already using. I mean, come on, why not? And here we go. Straw, tongs, COVID proof.
We all have that produce that we know is going bad right now. So we're showing you what to do with it.
Multiple use. Another thing,
oh yeah.
do you like it?
The pink tan.
Oh,
the pink
it's
tan,
the
guys.
pizza pamplemousse.
Right? It's
Right?
delicious. That's amazing. Now, I do want to give a little friendly tip because we don't have children. We have small dogs. However, notice that Meredith brought her bartending to the home bar. If you are using little salsa jars or jam jars or whatever you have,
Yes.
and you have kids, maybe put a no-no sticker on it.
Yeah, always label. A
Keep
label
it up
everything.
somewhere.
Sharpie and blue painter's tape. Everybody has like a blue painter's tape. You can get it anywhere. You can get it online on Amazon. It's probably going to take one more month to get it because it's not essential. But yeah, always label everything. And it just so happens,
because that looks delicious. And if I were 12, you know,
I don't know what it is. If I were 12, I probably did know what it was, and I'm probably gonna go for it anyway. Sorry.
Do I look like a happy lady right now?
I mean, you're like,
you know, we always say never less
in
than
the
3 drinks.
club. In the club. When she was like,
Where's our DJ?
where is our DJ?
Oh, I'm a happy lady.
Cats.
Good thing. The best partner ever, Brittany, also gave us these truffle salted Marconas. The best thing I've ever tasted in my life.
From Trader Joe's.
They're the best.
Because we need snacks.
We're spirited.
We are spirited.
Well, those
Yeah.
are delicious.
Good. I mean, it's based on, like what everybody likes, what everybody's doing right now, and super easy. And I just want to show you something that you can do to take it up a notch.
If you're not on a cleanse and want to have a little sweetness.
And you want to have this, if you're not doing that. Right. So what I have, thank you so much. Another guest. This is a grapefruit cordial that I created. It's from leftover grapefruit juice that was about to. So if you've got like a carton and you didn't finish it, you just wanted it, oh man, you were crazy me and juiced fresh juice. Then you can use it and utilize it when it's not quite exactly how you want to drink it. So you're going to put that into a pan with a whole load of sugar, a lot of sugar. It's actually going to be a 1.5 ratio of sugar to 1 of the juice. So no water, just the leftover juice. And then you want to take the zest and not the pith, okay? Not the pith. The pith is the white part. So it's that white part right on the edge right there, not the inside, okay? So you can do the small little grated zest, and then you're going to, one of my favorite things, be able to get all those tiny little zests out, a strainer. Call it a double strainer. Super fine mesh. That comes later.
You can get those at any kitchen store.
Anywhere. Amazon. Once again, I'll take your money. But nice peeler.
Oh, that's
You can also, with a nice peeler, you can get big peels that don't have the pith. See how the pith didn't come with it? I mean, it's hard to tell.
Man down.
That was my quarantine belly. It's just with that jigger, brought it down to the bottom. Anyway, you can stick a bunch of those in there. I would do 1 grapefruit, the zest of the whole grapefruit, and kind of taste it as you go. You're going to let all that mixture of the 1.5 of just regular granulated cheap sugar to the 1 part grapefruit juice, and then grapefruit zest, and set it to boil. Keep stirring to make sure everything is dissolved, and then you're gonna let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And you can kind of taste it throughout to see if it's too bitter or too sweet, and kind of add a little bit as you go. And then you take it off, you let it cool, you let it sit until it's cool. You strain out all the zest with your fine mesh double strainer. And then you put it in the fridge, and you have cordial that's super shelf stable
And non-alcoholic. So we can
non-alcoholic.
do amazing things with our, it's Monday, we're not going to drink today because we drank yesterday.
Yes. Put this with soda, and you're set. Yeah, you can put it in ice cream.
And this has a longer shelf life
Than regular simple syrup or anything, because the cordial's like, or juice, it definitely lasts a lot longer, about 3 months.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then you get a little vodka in there, just a little bit less. Preservative. I like that. All right, so we're just gonna do this is a sploosh, if you will. I'm gonna do a quick shake. I want this sugar to emulsify. Now you can put it in your glass and kind of give it a nice good stir. I don't like to agitate my soda water, so I would do it before you put the soda water in if you want to agitate it and get it all in. But I like to kind of incorporate the sugar inside of the cocktail, and that's why we say emulsifying, right? And just 1/4 of an ounce, you can, if you want it a little more sweet, you can actually do that, right? And then we've got there's only a little bit in there. I got too excited. Maybe haven't been inside of the bar for a long time. I worked out. I have been trying and eating a lot.
Yeah.
Now, in the case of that we're going to be on these smaller ices, I'm just going to shake it without ice, actually, and that's called a dry shake. So if you have shakers, I don't know if you just heard, that was my doggy.
The mascot, the
Yeah.
10-pound mascot.
So we're just doing a quick dry shake and just kind of moving everything around and getting it emulsified so it's just one set.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how about that second shake?
You get it, get it. Go get it, go get it.
You guys have to make these noises as well while you're doing your home bartending.
Oh yeah,
Very important.
super important. Things have gotten weird during the COVID. So you can see it's got that nice color.
It's kind of like a bashful color. I
Yeah.
would say.
She's dying over that. Dying.
I may have just watched it. I like to cry sometimes.
I love that movie. I weep heavily. Like the ugliest cry ever. Heavy. Like
See the secret of love.
Secret of Love. If you haven't watched it on Netflix, Secret of Love, it's absolutely incredible. You're promoting a lot of things. And there you go. There you are. Cordial, right? So what do? You want fresh? We can do fresh. We could do dehydrated if you want. If you're trying to keep it, keep it sustainable. I like a nice, get that fresh guy in there. Oh yeah.
Equally delicious with or without the base spirit.
Yeah, you don't need it.
She's trying to kill me before I do my part.
We can always do the other straws and then everybody gets a taste.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. And she only eats 1/4 of an ounce. So even though this is under 80 calories for your base pour if it were a normal
Right.
shot, and then you've got your club soda, this is gonna give you extra something, but not be as high cal as something with a soda or that sticky icky juice that you get off the gun.
Yeah,
This
or
is
like
clean and fresh.
clean and fresh.
And natural.
And that, yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to go and buy those canned White Claw and all that other stuff. Like,
Delicious.
you know what's going into it, and you're doing it yourself, and you have the time to have some fun and do it for yourself. So,
yeah.
Just putting these cocktails, line them up. Line them up.
We're gonna have quite a few beverages here.
We're gonna have a lot of beverages. I don't know what we're gonna do. So next up, we're gonna go.
We're gonna go to the other side. Savory. She's getting savory.
We're going
for you.
savory. We're going fancy.
What's happening?
I feel like I gotta take off my gin.
The fancy sports bra for you.
This is a Calvin Klein sports bra.
Christmas present.
Christmas.
Oh yeah.
We
Ready for you.
right? We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Yeah, blazing. We
do
call
it.
this heavy blazing.
Happy blazing. We're making a martini. Right? And you gotta get a little fancy for a martini. But you see that? That was a COVID home quarantine costume change. I'm still wearing jean sweatpants underneath and Adidas shoes. Not kidding, these are jean sweatpants. So we're gonna get fancy on you for a minute. We're gonna do a martini, but we're doing a dirty martini. And the history of a martini is really just wrapped up in a mystery, to be honest. Vodka dates back all the way into the 1500s. They called it bread wine. And then it gradually developed. So by the 1800s, Smirnoff was around, brands were around, and they were making vodka, but nobody was really drinking it, right? Martinis started with gin, and they started with gin and vermouth, and they weren't really sure if it started kind of like with an Old Tom gin, which was like a sweeter, maltier gin, a little bit of sugar in there, and then maybe it was a sweet vermouth, like the Martinez. Maybe it was a dry vermouth. They think it kind of the Manhattan and the Martinez and the Martini and the Martinin kind of all kind of muddled together. We have the first record of it around like the 1840s, I think, and then in the 1884, and then 1888 and 1890s, you're starting to kind of see the evolution of where it starts to go. And then, of course, by the time of the 1940s, you have the Martini, and then you have the shaken not stirred Casino Royale Martini, which we all know of. So what we're gonna do for you is go for that of the dirty Martini, but we're gonna take it up a notch. And it's crazy what you can do in your own house, right? Just with stuff that you have in your house. You never knew you can have something so different. So instead of, I'm gonna ask you to go. Listen, I know you've been to Whole Foods before. Don't even, okay? You go to that olive bar, maybe not anymore, but I got these jarred olives, pit in. They're not the normal bar olive. They're a step up. They're Spanish olives. I think they're nutty. They're sweet. They're so much more delicious with the pit still in. And we took them and we sliced them. Get in close.
Get up there.
We sliced them like that, so they could be on the skewer. And honestly, just like a skewer that I broke off. You don't even need fancy skewers.
Like a grill skewer.
Yeah, like a grill skewer. And I was like, I'm gonna break it off. I'm gonna, cut it, and then I'm gonna slice these guys. And I made a really beautiful garnish. And then with the leftovers that I had sliced, I muddled them in a pan. And I muddled them in this pan over the stove. And then I added olive oil on the stove. And I gently warmed up the olive oil. Just warmed it. Took like 5 minutes on a medium-high heat. And then after that, I took that, I put it into another heat container, glass, not plastic, okay? And then I added my vodka. I added Cheetos. And then from that, I continued to agitate it with a whisk for about an hour. Okay, just randomly coming up and being like, oh, that looks separated. Going back to what I'm doing. The dog's barking. Oh my God. Oh, wait, let me agitate it. Oh, I have to do, yes, honey. Then you go back and you walk by and you're like, okay, I gotta agitate it. Very easy. You leave it alone, forget about it, agitate it.
Forget about it.
Right. Just me.
Hey, I wanted to ask real quick.
Yeah.
How much olive oil to vodka? Did I miss that?
So it's basically up to 1 part. Like, I eyeball it a lot. I just want a little bit, and then the mostly vodka.
Okay.
Just so you're getting the most use out of your olive oil. We can send you actually the specs for you if you're interested in doing this at home. So we took the olive oil. Hey, babe, can you grab the frozen stuff so I can show her what it looks like? Oh, man. I didn't even have to say anything.
Oh. I don't know if I'm going to be the maid of honor, or marry them.
You can marry him.
Yes.
You want to do that?
Got my special dress on. I've been in it for 7 weeks.
Perfect. Perfect. Get everybody on the Zoom. Get everybody on the Zoom. This what it is? No, it's in the freezer.
The bowl that has the cake in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The weird. It does. It looks like a weird. So the thing is that you're going to take the olive oil after agitating it. We digress. After agitating it, you're going to stick it into the freezer. And you're going to let it freeze 7 o'clock this morning. And then it froze. You can do it overnight. And it froze in, at least 10 hours. You know, you want it to be. And then it's going to look like, thank you, honey. It literally, when it comes out, looks fucking patty. I mean, I put it and it's like,
It popped out of the plastic.
it just popped out. And I had a deli, you know, from work. It just popped right out. It's like this patty. And the cool thing is, you can clean, like you can use this as a soap. You can add this into so many different things. Now it's, all it has is vodka in it, which is actually astringent. It's like, you know, a natural, you know, I'm not going to say sanitizer because that's a little.
Sanitizer we can drink.
But you know that it's like clean, and you can use this olive oil, you know, on your skin. It still has the properties of like being super soft and lovely. So there's other applications that you can use. You're not just wasting this. I would not eat it. It tastes like vodka.
Now, when you popped that, when it popped out of the quart, was this clarified and ready to use, or did we double strain it?
We double strained it because remember we had the muddled olives in it.
Yes, that's right.
So we use our double strainer just to make sure there's also no frozen pieces of anything, because I'm a big proponent on everything being as clear as you possibly can. Now, if you're even crazier, you can put it through a cup, but I think just that double strainer right before it did a really nice job.
And what's this process called?
It's called a fat wash.
We can do this with anything with natural fat.
Yeah, you can do coconut oil, you can do bacon fat, whatever.
Bacon!
Oh.
Yeah, the bacon fat bourbon that you see sometimes.
Yeah, this is the process in which you use. You just heat up that fat just a little bit, just to get it warm or in like a nice liquid form, and then you're going to add your spirit, whatever spirit of choice, and then you freeze it, and then you take off that frozen part.
Like racking wine.
Yeah.
With the other bits. And you're left with the best bits.
And the cool thing is it's taking any kind of astringency out. It's making it super smooth and adding texture. And you can then keep this in the freezer and be like ready to go. And the cool thing is, what I like to do, instead of just diluting it with water, I like to use what's in here.
Oh.
And what's in here,
Look at
that water, is tomato water. So you ask, how the heck am I supposed to make tomato water at home? You could YouTube it, or you could talk to me. And honestly, this isn't just tomato water. This is leftover from fresh salsa. Cinco de Mayo! So you gotta reutilize everything that you have, right? Oh, it smells like liquid salsa. So my partner Brittany made this amazing fresh salsa, just in a NutriBullet or a chopper, whatever you have. We did 6 heirloom tomatoes that were severely ripe. So these are just out to go, right? You're like, I don't want to waste these gorgeous tomatoes. What's wrong with me? Put it in the chopper. Put some jalapeno. Put some onion. Put some cilantro. Put some garlic. Put some spices, some salt. Have fun with it. Make the salsa exactly how you want it to taste. And you're going to be like, wow, this salsa is super watery. Yes, it is. Because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stick it in the fridge and let it kind of separate itself. So you're going to do it the day before. Like, thick stuff is going to rise. All the liquid, the good stuff is going to be at the bottom. So you're going to strain out all of your salsa. You know, you're putting it off to the side. That's the parts you want to use. And then all you got to do is use your double strainer. This is the best bite you could ever have in your
And they're $4.
Serious. I mean, I think this is like maybe $8. And you can use a coffee filter if you're finding things not working right. But honestly, for me, I literally just did this because it had already been separated, because I let it just sit and have its time.
And I wish you guys could smell this.
It smells like fresh, like peppers, green, like that green outside edge.
Flavor,
The pyrazine flavor that you find in wine. It's just incredible. Yeah. Spice, saline. I mean,
and think about what that's going to bring a product that is otherwise just your favorite base spirit. And it was a byproduct of something.
You were already making it home. Like, you did it yourself. I'm like, crazy. And then to keep it for a long period of time, all you have to do is take everything. If you don't want to use it, you put it in the freezer. You just put it in the freezer and freeze it. And when you want to use it, you take it out and you let it, defrost and good. Doesn't take long. I literally took it out of the freezer this morning and then it was ready to go. So I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce.
Dirty.
Okay, I want it dirty. Just not dirty. So I do 2.5 ounces. So we'll do the little happy. There you go, baby. And then 2 ounces of your olive oil fat wash Cheetos. Okay. And the thing is, you could add saline solution, but we already had salt in the tomato water because it's from salsa. And if you didn't want to do a salsa, then you can just like pulverize tomatoes and half tomatoes for your next like sauce. If you want to do like an Italian red sauce or whatever have you. But fresh tomatoes are really fun. We got those tomatoes from Double Star Farms. Super great to donate that to everybody in the niche food group. And you're super lucky at Double Star Farms. Thank you so much for giving that to us. And just so you know, they went into this. So I really appreciate it. And that's local. Yeah. So everything was chilled. I like to keep everything, just pour that into a glass and it's ready to go because it's tomato water. I'm going to give it one quick good stir with one big cube. Okay? Because it was sitting here and I want it to be nice and cold and perfection.
I think we should let her be the taste tester for this one.
Maybe. I don't think she wants to be on camera though.
Just off to the side. She can be our arm.
You have to taste it, Denise. I love to see your eyes get super big and excited about eating it.
17
I give her drinks. I give her drinks all the time. But like, she's super complimentary. But I do want to see, like, it's nice to.
It's kind of like the same tit for tat of me currently living with a chef. It's not a bad COVID partner to have. Right.
Yeah, you have a chef, and
she's got a chef and a som, and then 2 specialty cocktails.
So I'm going to show you when you're stirring. You're going to put that back edge of the spoon right there, right? Boom, go down, and then you're going to stir like this. And you could claw it. You could your own thing. Find your
technique.
Beautiful. Your zen in stirring.
Oh, there we go.
Your technique.
I'm gonna garnish that.
There's no technique. It's not real. It's so funny, and everybody was calling, because I'm like, mixologist Meredith, and then I found myself saying, hey, watch me be a mixologist, and I was like, oh, God. Oh, God. I'm not a mixologist. I just do drinks. All right.
And the cutest little guy.
I could do the other one. I want to show you. I like fun little glasses. You can do them. I like these little baby glasses.
And let's talk about how Meredith has all this cool stuff. We go antiquing. It's so much fun.
Look at that texture.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
Oily and
so good. Next up.
Oh, man.
Remember that garnish?
And nicer to eat with your guests around than gnawing on an olive.
If you get the chance to have a guest.
Hey, come July, we're having a thing.
Hey, COVID be damned. No vaccine, we've got vodka.
No politics.
Please be safe. You're right, no politics. But there you go.
Look at that top layer.
I
wish you guys could see the top layer. It has that beautiful silken texture from the oil.
You know what's going to make this better?
The mater dust?
That's dehydrated mater dust.
So tell me,
or paprika, anything you got. Spice, what do you want to do?
Tell me a second what you mean dust. What did you use to dust?
So you can do it in some of the leftovers of what you do with the tomato. Maybe it's the skins or just like pieces of it if you're chopping it and you don't want a piece of that. When you cut it and you're like, that's not so great, or it's got a little The bits. The bits.
Yeah.
The bits. Chop those up really fine, put them in the dehydrator or into your oven, dehydrate it, and then you can pulverize it in a spice grinder or a coffee grinder, and then you can have something really special. It looks really gorgeous on the top, and it smells really gorgeous, like lots of aromatics. Tomato has a lot of umami, and that's what we're putting in here. The umami flavor, like that, like, you know, super savory, all of the things in your tongue are just moving and going, and that's what's the most exciting. And please, for you to enjoy. For you to enjoy. What do you think about that dirty martini?
You guys have never had a martini like this. Now that I've sucked off that top layer. You know, girl, we're going to celebrate the fact that we had an artisan farmer that did something beautiful, like doing to furloughed employees. Number 2,
Double Star Farms.
Yes. Beautiful salsa. And then with that one tomato, which who doesn't like a good tomato? With that one tomato, guys, they made part of their dinner yesterday. Then we made the tomato water, which there's no vermouth in this. Some of you all don't like vermouth. We made a very special, complex, flavorful recipe here. She made, I use that word wrong. And then Meredith just taught you a different way to make a dry rub, a spice, a garnish.
Yeah, you can use
one
it on
tomato.
Yeah.
I think that's incredible. And, you know, and these are all perishable goods that now you have seen 2, 3, 4 different ways to preserve them.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope that we go on a more local and sustainable vision throughout hospitality. I think maybe isn't that the answer? More detail, more care to our guests and to our product and to what we have closer available and taking care of those things. That's just my thought, that's my vision, that's my hope. So that's what I'd like to show you today. And I just thank you so much for letting me make drinks with you.
We're gonna take a few minutes. I mean, how do I even follow that? Let's be honest. But we did want to talk about the fancy versus the delicious. Not have to be you know, the most expensive things. It can be what we have right now. And what we have right now, people are buying differently.
Yes.
Right? People are buying differently, and stores are offering different items. So, you know, obviously, she's an amazing beverage director. She is a rock star on spirits and knows wine. I know a little bit about spirits, and I have a little bit more wine knowledge. So we're going to tit for tat for a second. And what I wanted to talk about today is something that you can batch that will be good for more than one day, and also refreshing. And you can practice making something as small for your evening with you and your quarantine buddy. And then also tell you how to batch so that when you do have that 8 feet away, 6-person barbecue come July, and you're letting the people in your backyard and you're celebrating life, how to maybe replicate the same recipe into an affordable, fun, wine-based spirit cocktail that we all know as sangria. So I'm very excited, and you will note that I found very approachable products for you today, because we're not gonna ever blend the fancy with cola, and we're not gonna ever use our top shelf wines in something that is going to be blended with fruit juice and brandy and soda. So I will say I did go to a liquor store this week. I hadn't really been anywhere, to be honest. And you know what's really flying off the shelves here? Don't necessarily look at the brand, but the box wine area was sparse. It was a little crazy. So we're going to do something today, and we're going to do, like, is it summer? Are we done yet? White and rosé combined sangria. This is going to be epic. This recipe as well as other information, if you were on our show today, will be made available to you later on. So what we're going to do, what is sangria? Let's define that. It can be very simple. It can be wine, little ice, little fruit. What kind of fruit? What do you have around? This can really be what you have in your fridge. Clean it out, put it in, right? Think of it as a fruit basket. Some people just do wine, some kind of sparkling beverage like a lemon lime soda or club soda over ice, you know, put your golden compostable straw in it, give it a stir. Now there's a more traditional form, a little bit more old school. We're gonna add some brandy and we're gonna add some liqueur. Now, this is not for the lighthearted. This is not your grandma's wine spritzer. So I want you guys to think about this. Crisp, beautiful white Sauvignon Blanc, high acid, refreshing. Then we're gonna put some rosé in that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use an orange liqueur. Some of you may have heard of triple sec. Some of you may have heard of Cointreau. Is a little bit of a, I'd say more top shelf orange liqueur. And then there's a range of amazing brandies out there. Now this is something that you may have seen on your different generations of back bar. E&J, easy peasy. Variable. Again, we're not gonna put high-end cognac, Armagnac, high-end breeze in a batch that's meant for quaffable entertainment where you can have a few of them. We're gonna sip that neat. So what I found is an apple flavored brandy.
Ooh, girl.
So we love fruit-based brandy from northern France, but we're not necessarily going to take our prize spirits and necessarily put them again in a batch drink. And then also just for fun, I have really neat seasonal key lime soda. You gotta love this. It's a little St. Louis. Instead of lemon lime, we're going fancy, but you know, your Sprite, your 7-Up, what have you. So one thing I love learning from Meredith is you want to judge what you put in first by maybe least expensive. So guys, we're not going to dump our, you know, higher end orange liqueur in first. So very easy lemon squeezy. So I'm going to do this. It's going to be enough product to make about 3 to 4 drinks on ice. So what I'm going to make right now would be great for 2 people to share over an afternoon.
And the rest, you're going to just take the bag out and be on your patio and squeeze the bag.
Notice I found a 1 liter bottle of wine. It's a little bigger than, but I will say for sangria, I mean, if you've seen me at, you know, local wine bars, restaurants, my sangria recipes come out of a box because number one, not everything is cookie cutter.
Right.
And maybe you want to prep less in the middle of the week than you do for a weekend, but they make excellent box wines these days.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I wouldn't necessarily put it up against a $200 bottle, but what are we talking about right now? We're talking about summertime use down the road, and we're talking about
safe distance
approachable things. And, you know, I have some friends that have gone through this quarantine alone, and they don't want to open a bottle every night. They want a glass of wine.
Just a little bit.
You're hearing it from a som, that's okay. And that you can have one of these, and then you can still open your bottle on the weekend, whatever.
Killer.
So guys, we are going to do 1.5 ounces, a traditional shot of our 2 liqueurs. And we're going to do about 8 ounces of our wines. So Meredith.
Yes.
We're first.
Can I do it? Yeah.
Oh no.
Hold it.
This one right here. Look at that.
There we go.
Action.
Boom.
Action.
One more. One more.
There we
2
go.
more. Yeah.
Don't mind how we're doing this right now. We're going to put it in our beautiful pitcher right here. Now,
Sauvignon Blanc.
she mentioned herbaceousness earlier. There's something beautiful about Sauvignon Blanc. It's fruit forward, it's crisp, it's laced with grapefruit and grass. It's just a really stunning white wine. Now you may ask, why does this young lady put a second kind of wine in sangria? I love cutting it with rosé. Put rosé and white wine in my red sangria as well. I love rosé. I got big, robust red sangria. I cut it with a little high acid rosé or white.
So rosé is really cool because it's red. It's a red grape. The reason why it's that pink color is because it's only a small amount of skin contact, right? Like the color is from the skin of the grape. The inside of the grape is not red. You know,
that beautiful color, little Spanish sangria for you.
Back to that blush and bashful.
And you know, so we took something that was a little bit more of a savory white, a sharp, beautiful, and now we're gonna get just a natural element of fruit forwardness.
Yeah.
Some rosés can be really lean, like a pink. Some Spanish rosés, again, look at that color. That hot pink color is extraction. That's going to be more fruit forward. That's going to be like the pink of the watermelon and the red of the strawberry versus the one and the white of the strawberry.
I'm gonna need to know. Personally.
It is room temperature, y'all. All right, so now we're going to take
I'm not above it.
We're going to give a little extra. Now the good thing is I might have a recipe here, but I want you guys to know the rule about sangria. Party in a glass. So party in a glass. So if you're like, oh, I don't have that, just see what you have, and just like any good cook, what do you think is going to complement? This is a sharp, beautiful Granny Smith apple flavor. Guess what I have to garnish with this? Sharp, beautiful Granny Smith apple pure is going to balance this. I always say in any simple cocktail, there's something that brings the two components together. So we've got sharp, we've got savory, we've got stronger. Brandy, put that in and really meld it together. And that's going to be a liqueur, which is going to have a little bit of a mouthfeel, a little bit softer, and not be an alcohol addition. So this is going to bring some unique flavors together. Now, what we have so far for you, where did that big bottle go? Oh, thank you.
I was drinking it.
What we have for you so far, our sangria. At this point, you can touch this product, and there is nothing in here that could not sit for a couple days. Now, we could, however, add a juice at this point. So if I worked at a tapas bar, I could have put in a little orange juice at this point, a decent amount of juice. Something incredibly special because it's Meredith. And we have this stunning, what are we going to call this? We've got a local mead from Martin Brothers Winery.
Yeah, so this is, I was too involved in saying that you're special, like in the best way, like I love you so much.
You see the heart? Shara, can you draw a heart on the screen?
No, I love you, you're so knowledgeable, and I just think you're the best thing ever. And I'm so glad that you're my friend.
Sure.
So this is a Pear Cordial. It's a pear lemon cordial. So once again, we're going back on that grapefruit cordial that I said before. It's made with juice, so it's old lemon juice. Lemon juice that wasn't good before. The zest of one lemon, probably about 3 pears that were about to go bad. And so I was like, these are way too soft and too grainy. And my girlfriend's real intense about the flavor of the fruit. So I chopped them up and I let them, I sauteed, and then I poured the lemon in there, and then I put the juice, and I let it simmer for about 15 minutes, and let it sit, and I let it for 3 days, just kind of steep in its own thing. And then I added awesome local Martin Brothers mead. Yeah, they're from Herman. Missouri.
Oh, that smells so
Incredible.
good.
This is the dry one. I really like it. It's got a fun, funky kind of flavor to it. And it's made from just beautiful. They just do an incredible job. So if you ever want to try incredible mead, Martin Brothers, they have a lot more. This is what's in this Pear Cordial right here. And look at that beautiful color. I kept the skins on. Don't take the skins off. Make sure you wash the skins very well. You can do it with a veggie fruit wash. You can get in the store oil and citric acid, or just like a lemon, and wash the outsides of your fruit. You can do that at home.
So what we did is, instead of adding a regular sweetener, is we have something that gave us the fruit forwardness, is if I put a half cup of orange juice in there, which could also turn quicker. And we added fruit forwardness and a level of complexity from the honey. Just stunning. And that as well could last a few days. So we've got a lot going on here. Now, who has friends that say, I want dry? Who has friends that say, here's where you're going to always win? At this point, this is a dry product. Dry wine, boozy, boozy. How you win is you get your wine glasses. Oh, this is ready. Look at that. They don't mess around here at the Meredith household.
It holds a full bottle.
Oh, from our preview. She takes it seriously.
For the quarantine.
Now, the neat thing about this, we're going to do about 3/4 of the batch to about 1/4 of some kind of sparkling product. And I don't mean champagne. Granted, I wouldn't judge you at this point. I could have given that. So I've got this stunning, beautiful, fun color, very different. Okay. Now, if your friends want a sweet product, you can take something like a lemon lime soda, in this case, awesome seasonal fits key lime.
Oh man, I love it.
And you're gonna do a little skosh. Now, what we did is thank you. I want
Will you my stir?
I want a little stir.
Get you a fresh one.
Thanks. She cares.
I got you a fresh one.
Now,
No cross-contaminating here.
Now, this is already going to be lovely, but how can we make it also appear lovely? Meredith is going to give us some love right here.
Well, let's see.
We've got fresh apples to replicate the flavor from the brandy, but also, again,
key lime.
Key lime and apples. The thing about sangria, guys, it really is like a smorgasbord of fruit.
Look at that.
Now, what we're doing is we're putting in the glass. One way to make your batch go bad is some people end up putting all their fruit juices and their fruit pieces in there and letting them kind of sit and macerate. The problem is that may not be good in a day or so, and it will definitely not look as good.
So remember when I talked about just having your booze sit in the court delis? You eventually very quickly. It's going to add more bitterness. The fruit's going to be very astringent. You don't want to eat the fruit. Okay? Just like the olive oil, you don't want to eat it. You want to use it for other applications. Dehydrate it, use it as a zest, and use it in different ways. Just a little blood. Let's do a little color. Little color. If you've got edible flowers in the back, get those edible flowers. If you have a little bitters, you can put a little bitters on the top too.
And think about if you had.
You just stick it in there.
Think about if you had
lots of grapefruit.
If you had one of the sangria pitchers lining the sides, you're going to consume it that day at your event. Lined with gorgeous fruit,
something like that. Just put your fruit out there, and then people can pick what fruits that they want, instead of it all just sitting and being in there and changing the flavor profile. And then, like you said, you want the length of this batch to last, and this is going to last instead of going rancid quickly. Oh, girl, I was excited about this. Can I have this one?
Yes. I haven't actually tried this yet because we had some different components. But it's going to be impressive because it's different. It's probably pretty boozy.
You want this? You gotta at least put your hand in the video.
Everyone thank Brittany for her production value.
Nice. You got it. You deserve it.
And that's a heavy sangria. I will say that, and I will say,
so
I just made a 17-ounce glass.
I
So
will
no
admit
problem.
to the most basic person is like chugging that down. Like that is so good.
So the thing that we learned about the sangria option is, number one, you're not going to go wrong. Stick with the basics. If you're going dry wine, go put a little sweetness in there with the liqueur or your top soda. I do always recommend something fizzy. Put in the fizzy afterwards. Like she said, you don't want to add the fizzy while you're shaking or add the fizzy while you're stirring. That's afterwards.
Or when you're before you put it into like the fridge, if you want it to last for a long time, you know, that should always be like your last component, your fresh component.
Oh.
Yeah.
And, you know, and if semi-sweet wines at home that you maybe want to repurpose, this way to top it with a club soda and putting in really clean dry fruits like citrus. Well, you really can't go wrong. And like I said, no shame if you've got a red rosé and a white box of wine. You know, we're prepping you to, again, make something that you can have throughout a couple days of the week. Go a full week. The more liquor that's in there, you can go an extra day. But
just up the brandy.
right. So I will say, I do recommend having a liqueur and
Cheetos in it.
right. You can have a
That'll
vodka
sustain it a
sangria.
lot longer. Little vodka rosé sangria.
But, you know, and then what you have in your container, whether it's a sangria container, maybe you repurposed this because it's gone already. Maybe you use this for your batch.
Actually, these bottles, Cheetos bottles are really great. All you have to do is run this under hot water and they off. They just peel right off. Super hot water over the bottle, the peel comes right off. And this is great. And of course, it's vodka, so it's very easy. It's not going to have any kind of flavor that's in it. And then you can reuse it.
It's a gift that keeps on giving. Speaking of gifts, we're going to roll this back now that we've had 4 vodka cocktails, sangria, whiskey, and the best Marcona almonds of all time. We're going to roll this back and we're going to say thank you to Pro. This has been so much fun.
So much fun.
And we're going to say, we're here for you. They're doing a different lineup of at-home events for you to just keep us and them in mind. You know, we maybe had a displaced event this year and this summer and this spring. So, you know, we're thinking of you, Urban Air. We're thinking of you, you know, just because we have a particular situation going on right now doesn't mean that we're not still thinking of that LGBT community in the state of Missouri in our hearts. So
Right.
This is a time to notes and have a great time this weekend, but also take a minute and go to promoonline.org and see what they're doing. You know, big news, executive director, they've got an amazing staff, and I've been pleased to serve them for 4 years on different committees here and there, and highlighting that the great Meredith Berry joined us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I really just like, it's an honor, and I'm just so happy to be helping out Promo. It's, of course, something that's very near and dear to my heart. And we can't forget about everybody who is in need right now. Restaurants, bars, people who are, that's close to my heart as well. The people who are, you know, of a lower like income bracket, of course. And we're working on the front lines. Everybody right now is, no matter where you are, is dealing with this situation. And we're just trying to make the best of it. And thank you so much for coming here to watch us, to have a little bit of like forgetting, you know, and enjoying yourself. Because that's really what we're here for as well.
And just, you know, being separate and together.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
thank you, Promo. Hi, Alex.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us, and especially thank you to Denise and Meredith. That was amazing. I wish I were with you. I felt like it, and to put on a great show. I love it, and I want every single one of those cocktails. Maybe we'll have to make this a more frequent series.
Yeah, you'll be honored.
Thank you both so much, and thank you everyone for joining. Have a good night.
Thank you. We're just gonna smile at y'all.
Who's hanging out? Trampoline booty. Trampoline that booty. Hands up.
We might still be live.
Trampoline that booty. I hope we are. Yeah.
That was an hour and 10 minutes.
I told you.
But I know, don't tell me, I knew better. That's what I know. But I got it all on